Okay, you guys, what's up? Common Man Review here. So the NFL Combine's going on today, and a lot of the things we expected to happen are happening, and a lot of guys we expected to make names for themselves are sort of doing that. But while that's going on, some moves have been made in free agency. Kurt Coleman has signed with the Saints. Not pretty for fans of the black and blue. We didn't want to see that. We've already been through that song and dance with Ted Ginn and AJ Klein. But, yeah, not a pretty thing to happen. Our old defensive playbook went with him. But on the bright side of that, we do have a new coordinator this year. So some of the terminology is going to change and a lot of things are going to be different. It's a good thing for us. Hopefully, it doesn't give New Orleans any unneeded advantages. But with that being said, you guys, with the Combine ending tomorrow, and one of our most pressing needs is coming up tomorrow. I'll be covering that at the end of the day tomorrow. But one of our most pressing needs is our secondary. And obviously we ranked 22nd in yards allowed in the passing game. We allowed 237 yards per game passing, which we've had some really good games with our secondary this past year, but our secondary is very young now. We do have 37-year-old Mike Adams, the ageless wonder back there. He's going to be back next year, hopefully. But he's 37, you guys. He's not going to be around forever. He's not entering the prime of his career by any stretch. It's gone. We're getting his last days here in Carolina. Same sort of thing we had with, God, his name escapes me now. It'll come to me in a moment. But it's the same thing we have with some past guys in our secondary. We bring them in at the end of their career. They're a good stopgap, but then we never bring in a guy to replace them. We had Robert Lester. He was a pretty good, solid safety for a little bit, but we got about as much of him as one could expect. We had Trey Boston, who played really well for San Diego this past year. But the wrong color blue. Gotta hate it. But I digress. Our secondary is not good, in not good shape, you guys. Not at all. We let Kurt Coleman walk. We released him. It was a cap space need, but not one that we could really afford to give away by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't see how that helps us in our current situation. We are in a very bad way as far as our secondary goes. Obviously, we've got James Bradbury. It's all well and good, but he's not quite hit his prime yet. He's still got to learn some of the finer points of playing corner, and he's still got to learn his zone coverages and just coverage in general. He's an excellent run defender, but right now that's about it. He's pretty shaky in the pass game, which that will come to him. He's a very quick learner, and that's going to come to him, but not what we expected out of him this year after he was the top-rated rookie corner last year. But other than that, all I can really say is we've got Worley back there with him, and Worley is about as inconsistent as you can get. He plays like a shutdown corner one game and like a tackling dummy the next. He's there, and then he takes 2 steps back every time he takes a single step forward. We can't keep having that, and we've got to develop some guys that are going to be consistent and be consistently good. Right now, but secondary is just our biggest need in general. I said we just ranked 22nd in pass yards allowed, 22nd in points allowed with 21 points per game. We were 24th in interceptions, averaging less than 1 a game. So, something Carolina fans have known for a while is our secondary is lacking. Obviously, we mockingly named our secondary a couple years ago the Legion of Whom after the Legion of Boom because we have a bunch of no-name guys in our secondary. But let me read out some more statistics for you guys. We were third in rush yards per game allowed. We allowed less than 100 yards rushing per game. As a matter of fact, we allowed less than 90 yards a game, 85 yards a game. That's ridiculous. We shut down some of the best backs in the league last year. And we were third in the league in sacks with 48 sacks. Our leading pass rushers were Mario Asson, who will be back next year, and Julius Peppers, who may be back next year. We need to add some pieces along the D-line, but it's not our most pressing need. We obviously have Mario Asson, who's very good. We have Kawan Short, who's one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League. We are deep at defensive tackle. Gettleman was very high on defensive tackles during his tenure as general manager, so that's left us in a very good place. We have Thomas Davis for another year. We do have Kuechly and Shaq Thompson, one of the best young linebacking core duos in the league right now. But our secondary is lacking. If we get our secondary together, we could have a historically great defense next year, and that's what we need. Our team is not built to put up 40, 45 points a game and win in shootouts. We want to win those 17-14 grinded out tough wins that are built on defense. And I mean, we want to have a good offense too, and I'll get to that in a moment, but we can't keep ignoring the secondary like we have been, especially now when we're weaker than ever in the secondary. With Kurt Coleman gone, Mike Adams in the last of his career, we just can't keep ignoring this problem, or it's going to come back to bite us. We need receivers also. That's another thing I'm going to get to here in just a moment. We averaged about 199 yards a game. We just can't keep ignoring these problems. I mean, we just can't do it. Roman Harper. I had to Google it, but Roman Harper is his name. Old man Roman. He, like I said, he's a good example of what we did with Mike Adams. We took a Pro Bowler at the end of his career, signed him to a discount deal, and let him be the anchor of our secondary, the veteran of our secondary for a couple of years. And it's working with Adams. He's playing well, but like I said, he's not going to be here forever. And, yeah. So, back to our offensive needs. We ranked 4th in the league in rush yards per game with 124. That's excellent. But we have Jonathan Stewart gone. We need to address running back position. I personally really like Sony Michel in the second round, but we may have to snag him in the first or not at all. If Norwell walks like he's supposed to, offensive guard is going to be a huge position, but Isaiah Wynn is looking better and better there at 24. He's looking very good there, and I would not, even though I'm an Auburn fan, you guys can disown me in the comments if you may, but Isaiah Wynn, man, he'll be a heck of a guard, and even if we don't get him, you know, we can stick Taylor Moton down there and let him be our guard. He can also be a very good guard. But we need to address the offensive line in this draft, but receiver more than anything. This class is loaded with receivers of all shapes and sizes. Anything we need, it's there. You got your guys like Cortland Sutton, who's a bigger guy, and you've got your You got your smaller, faster guys like Kirk, who I personally would not mind seeing as a Carolina Panther, not in the very slightest. But there's plenty of guys. Javon Wims, he's a sleeper in the later rounds of the draft that we could possibly get. The opportunities are endless. We don't have to take one in the first round. Even if we did, it'd be all good. Even if we did, so. But yeah, we ranked. Let me look up the exact number here. I had it wrote down. Let's see. 24th in pass yards per game. Obviously, we do have a running quarterback. That number is going to be a little bit lower. But 199 yards for the 2015 MVP of the National Football League is unacceptable. We have to do better. Some of that does fall on Pass Pro. We do have a guy so lovingly referred to by a New Orleans Saints defender as Speed Bump McGee. Personally, I see it. We overpaid for the guy. We need to do something with him. We made some moves so that his cap hit's not too enormous for us to handle, but something has to be done here. We have to make some overhauls to our roster, or we're not going to make the playoffs next year, you guys. And that won't look good. We do have a good coach, but every time we miss the playoffs after a good season, questions like that start to arise. Well, is it time to get rid of Rivera? Personally, I think no. I think he's one of the more consistent coaches in the National Football League, as long as he's given the appropriate talent to work with. Our talent has been below average as of late, and now that it's starting to get back above average, we're starting to make the playoffs again. I think he's a good coach because he's kept us competitive, even though our talent has been below average. So, yeah, you guys, that's been my thoughts on what we need moving forward for the 2018 NFL Draft and free agency. When we get closer to the start of the league year, I'll be doing a video talking about free agents that I think could help fill some of our needs. Yeah. But for now, we're going to talk about just what we need with the draft, the combine coming to an end. I'll probably be doing some sort of mock draft tomorrow now that the combine's over with. And I've been the Comment Review. You guys have been awesome. Please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think we need more than anything. And just in general, let me know what you thought of the video and what you would like me to talk about next. And I will see you guys in the next